Teach me how to draw. I don't know if I can call this a tutorial. I love that. I love how confidence inspiring that is. I am so excited. What is going on? What's up, guys? I am very excited to announce that I'm going to be launching my very own sketchbook. This is coming very soon. Stick around to the end of this video or just go check in the description for more details on this. What's up, guys? Welcome. Today, Uncle Sam is going to sit down with you and we're going to go through some art tutorials from YouTube Shorts to see if they're good or not. We're going to give them a rating from 1 to 10, 10 being perfect, 1 being trash. Let's go. Hopefully nobody gets a 1 today. Day 3 of asking for a lip toot, lines, dots, dark in the middle. Okay, I like this. Okay, oh, ooh. Ooh. You know what? Okay, fantastic, 9 out of 10. You guys see this step right here? This is very important. You generally want to darken the corners of the mouth and the middle of the mouth. Sometimes your mouth drawing could look very stiff because you've darkened the entire line across the opening. There's no line variation. So you want to be like this. Focus on your line quality. That's fantastic.
I'm scared of drawing
Oh,
hands.
Christ! Oh!
So the first thing I like...
That is oh! Now you can finally rate your own art tips. 1 out of 10 for jump scaring me.
This project is for all of us with anxiety. And if you
Okay, so not me. I'm excluded.
I'm gonna draw a jellyfish.
It's just a half circle and some squiggles, and then I did some more lines up on the top part.
Now we're just gonna round off all the places where the lines intersect.
Sometimes when I do these, you guys are like, I don't know how to do it. You have to slow it down. But the thing is, while it's calming to my brain to do it, it's boring to watch. Just make it blobs.
Ooh.
Just make the blobs. It's like
That's
everything
kinda
that's
nice.
a V, make it a U.
I'm doing watercolor.
Jellyfish are some of the magical aliens of the sea, so just pick whatever colors make you happy. They can be any colors. Just go for what you like.
Take a little bit of that white watercolor that you never use, splatter it while it's still wet.
Is it space? Is it underwater? I don't know. And then I used a white gel pen to make it even more unclear where this creature lives.
Holy smokes, that's a gorgeous final result. You know what? I don't even think you need to have anxiety to draw this. It looks like it'd be a fun thing to just sit down and do on a slow Sunday evening. I like it, man. That's gonna be a 10 out of 10 for that LGBT jellyfish.
Top drawing hands like this. It's not the best idea to start a drawing off with details, especially if you're still learning as an artist. So
Yes.
instead do this. Break the hand down into simple shapes that you'll be able to draw. Of course, it's still difficult for me to draw hands from certain positions, but this technique genuinely helped me so much when I was learning. Also, do not be afraid to use reference when you're practicing. Thanks to me, now your sketchbooks will just be filled with hand practice. You're welcome.
No. I love this video because I love the message of not starting off with small details, but instead working with big shapes. But here's the thing, okay? It's not about not being afraid to use references when you're practicing. You have to use references when you're practicing. I'm sorry, you don't have a choice. If you want to add more information into your mental library without a reference, you're not adding shit. But you don't have to go on Pinterest and all that because you have hands. You can use your own hands as reference. All right, so don't listen to him. If you're going to practice, reference is mandatory. All right, it's 8 out of 10.
How to draw a nose. Draw an upside down C. Connect to waves on both sides of the sea.
Oh.
Draw to C's on both sides.
Oh,
A circle for the highlight. And you are done.
there's no nose bridge? You got no nose bridge? What the hell? Do you always just draw without a nose bridge? Is that? No. No, you draw nose bridges. There's a nose bridge. That's a great nose. Okay, you know what? What's there is great. Very simple, very easy to follow process. You broke it down very well. But this is like half the nose. So I'm gonna have to give you a 5 out of 10 for half of 10. Neck tutorial. Okay, what? Why was that wrong? What? I mean, this is not wrong. This is just a Formula 1 driver, you know? Like, F1 out of 10. Now, in all seriousness, you see this V shape that he drew on the neck? That's actually a really important part of the neck anatomy. These are like 2 big old muscles that attach from the base of your collarbone to the back of your cranium, and they help to stabilize, articulate, and turn your head. F1 out of 10. Teach me how to draw. I don't know if I can call this a tutorial. I love that. I love how confidence inspiring that is. I am so excited. What is going on? What are those lines? I have to ask you something, guys. There was an artist who kept using my art as a reference. They copied my art, ideas, and drawings. Oh no. I asked him multiple times to credit, but got ignored. Oh no. So I blocked the artist. No. Do you think I did the right thing? Yes. Wow. What the heck? Hold up. How did you, bro, I'm so confused. How did you go from this? Okay, this is atrocious. I don't know what you were doing with these construction lines. You clearly didn't need them, okay? This is kind of like in math class, you know, when you know the answer to a question, but they want you to show your work and show your steps. And you don't really know what steps they're looking for, so you do This, like, why is the eye line above the right eye? Why are there two center lines? Why does the center line run across the face instead of straight down the face? Like, and then this, okay, 10 out of 10 drawing, but this is a 2 out of 10 tutorial. The process is so bad, but the drawing is so good, it's making me mad.
If you're one of those people who struggles to come up with ideas for the character drawings, then listen up, because you gotta try this strategy. First, get your phone and open not Pinterest, but Roblox, and wander around until you find someone with a really cool avatar. Then use that avatar you found as a reference for your drawing, but make sure to add your own style to it so you're not just straight up copying. And if you guys want to get your Roblox avatars drawn by me, make sure to...
Alright, you know what? That's actually kind of cool. That's kind of creative. 8 out of 10. Thanks for trying to get the kids off their phones.
Know how to draw faces like Perico draws? Well, now you can. And believe me, I would know. You start by drawing a circle and a cross like you do in literally every other face tutorial, and then connect the jawline at the bottom. I literally have...
This is definitely not every other face tutorial. This is the tiniest cross I've ever seen. So small it might pass for a butthole.
And then connect the jawline at the bottom. I literally have no idea how to describe the ears. Just like put in random lines, shade it, or cover it with hair, or just use a reference, guys. Just use a reference.
I like
anyway,
that.
For the eyes, I draw sort of these like rhombus, triangular shape thingies. I like my eyebrows to be pretty thick. Please make sure your eyes are looking in the same direction. That's really important. Anyway, then I go ahead and add in the eyelashes. I do this regardless of gender, but I'm drawing a girl. I like to really define the upper and lower lids too. For the nose, I do a little circle, and I do the bottom bit with 2 little triangles, and I add the nostrils. I also shade in do the corners of the mouth first, and then fill in where the lips will be. Here is also where I shade in the lips. And jump scare, I change them. Anyway, yeah, it's really hard to go in depth in 60 seconds, but I hope this sort of explained it.
Okay, that's sick. I love the layering of the paper here. That's actually awesome. So this is obviously a very stylized character, so I'm not going to try to knock your proportions or anything, but I think it'd help a little bit for the baby artist to just explain the proportions that you use on your face. This is like, for example, how long the distance is between the brow and the bottom of the nose and why you do it. 8 out of 10. Good job.
Here's 2 art tips to make sure your faces don't look like this. The first art tip to make sure your faces don't look like is to remember the rule of thirds. If we look at Rumi, you can see that the distance from her hairline to the eyebrow is the same as to the nose and chin. Using this method will help you easily place the facial features.
Yes.
Even you can't mess this up. Next, while you might have good facial features, you have to remember that the eye will squish if it's in the angle. This eye will be more squished, while this one has more surface area, so it will be stretched. So if your faces still look like this...
I'm going to be a little bit of the nerd pointing emoji here, but the quote-unquote rule of thirds usually is used to refer to compositions where you divide the entire frame into thirds and you place things of great importance in one of the intersection points. But what do I know? You know, the kids these days seem to be appropriating these terms for entirely different things. If it helps you remember, it helps you remember. You know, 3 equal thirds on the front of the face, basic proportions, and this video does a great job covering all that. 10 out of 10.
How to paint an eye. As with any painting session, I start by grabbing my brushes from Carl, cleaning them off in mineral spirits, scraping my palette of yesterday's mixing, and adding paint to my piles to stop them from screaming. I begin the eye by painting the shadow of the brow and the upper lid, and then marking a general location for the iris. After some further sculpting with lighter values, I'll move on to the whites of the eyes, which remember, are not really white and can present as purple, blue, yellow, and pink. Some more sculpting with even lighter values and a general placement for the brow, the upper facet of the lower lid, and some color inside the iris. Try not to over-define or over-darken the lashes or eyebrow hairs. And when it comes to the upper layers, don't be afraid of your brush strokes. Use them to suggest the texture of skin. After a few of the most satisfying highlights, add in the tears because you still miss your first pet. Then all that's left is the reflection of your most recent victim, the tentacle, and then you're done. Thanks for watching. I love you. And don't forget to send this to the person you know who can't stop drawing eyes on everything.
Dude, what? How are you so chill about being so good? Okay, like the goofiness and the jokes aside, this is incredible, man. This is such awesome rendering. I feel like I just blinked and missed the entire thing. I was mesmerized, man. How long is this video? 60 seconds, okay? Apparently that's how long it takes for me to fall in love. What an incredible man. Incredible. Cute things to draw when bored. Day 53. Okay. All right. Nice and simple so far. Okay. Wow. What's that? Oh. It's a chicken. Awesome. I love it. And that is just a solid, straightforward, no nonsense tutorial. Does exactly what it sets out to do. 10 out of 10. Oil pastel drawing. Okay. A tree. All right. I hate oil pastels. Oil pastels are one of my least favorite mediums, and it's one of my worst enemies. I remember I had to do it when I was a kid, and it was just horrible. Horrendous. Now that's a beautiful tree. How the heck are you doing all this with a medium as horrendous as the oil pastel? This is incredible. This is talent. Look, wow, that's a great tree in its own right, but doing this with oil pastels, you're an absolute master. Congrats, you have conquered the worst medium in the world, 10 out of 10. Look, if you're watching this video and you happen to like oil pastels, okay, I'm not that serious, okay? Don't take it too seriously. It's okay to be psychotic. Go get yourself checked out, okay? You need help. Make your own hairs. Brushes. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool actually, but I'm gonna poop on your guys' party here. Hair is just another texture. You can draw hair with a basic round brush if you wanted to. You as a digital artist, you do not need a specific specialized brush to create hairs. Instead, I want you to take a step back, okay? Break down the big shapes in the hair. Break down the big chunks, the big strands. Focus on where the highlights and the shadows fall. Try to find the texture of that surface. I never use specialized brushes for anything. You do not need specialized brushes to make something look good. Easy drawing tutorial. Easy drawing for kids and beginners. Okay, let's see. You've got a sphere. Okay. Light source, shadows. Oh God. Oh God. Okay, there's not that many likes here. I'm not going to poop on you. This is just somebody who's trying their best to help. Now, I'm going to try my best to help you too. So you've got the idea down. Light comes from one side. That means the shadow's on the opposite side. But on spheres especially, we emphasize this thing called a core shadow. The core shadow is going to be the darkest area on the shadow side of that sphere. The reason that core shadow exists is because when the sphere sits on a brighter surface, there's going to be a certain amount of light that bounces back up to hit the other side of the sphere that's in shadow. So direct light hits the bright side, bounce light hits the shadow side, and in between the direct light and the bounce light, there's going to be one strip of dark. And the cast shadow on the ground is not just random. It has to reflect the direction of that light and the shape of that object as well. A+ for effort out of 10. Boy versus girl. Okay, let's see. What are the differences here? 2 balls. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing here. Okay. So the face is longer on the boy. Short. Long. Thin. Thick. Yes, generally girls have thinner necks, they have less pronounced jawlines, and as a result, their face appears a little bit shorter. Something else you guys can look for is the positioning of the eyeline. Generally on a guy's face, the eyeline is a little bit higher up, but on a girl's face, it's a little bit lower down. And again, that's just because, you know, the bigger jaw, the larger proportions of the face. But with stuff like this, just remember that people are all built different and there's exceptions to every rule, so always look at your references. 8 out of 10, not bad. Look at that, that's nice. So this is my very own sketchbook. I've been working on this for like most of last year. We've gone through so many different versions of this. This is actually one of the sample sketchbooks that I got. It's basically made with everything that I want in a sketchbook. It lays flat on the table, nice round corners, very soft and premium feeling covers on both ends. It's got a bookmark to know exactly where you left off and a nice strap to keep the sketchbook closed when you throw it in your bag. It's even got a pocket in the back if you want to throw in some stickers, some notes, or some rulers. It's got you covered. And most important of all, the paper in this thing feels so good to draw on. It's just been an absolute pleasure. Just feels absolutely amazing. I'm super passionate about this. I believe that everybody should keep a sketchbook as an artist, and I cannot believe that this is now a reality. So check the link down below in the description. If you're watching this video as soon as it drops, the sketchbook is going to be ready for order very soon. So sign up for that email list and we'll have a very limited run of the sketchbook. It's going to be made to order and you have to order within a certain time period. And for anybody asking, we're going to be shipping this out to 60 something plus countries. We've worked really hard on the logistics for this. So the shipping prices, no matter where you live in the world, should be relatively reasonable and it shouldn't be astronomical. I'm just trying to keep the cost down as low as possible for you guys while still providing a really good product. Well, all I know is I'm never going to go back to a regular sketchbook after using this. I'm not going to. I've been spoiled. Check out my Patreon for monthly tutorials that help you out on your art journey, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Only if you subscribe. Please subscribe. Please do it. Please.